Have you ever had a boss who just didn't know how to lead? The kind who got promoted not on merit, but on brown nosing, and whose only way to feel powerful was to control every single little thing you did? Well, I did. And she decided that the simple, professional, two-second message we'd used for years to say we were stepping away wasn't good enough. She demanded transparency. She demanded specifics. So, I gave them to her. I told the entire team I had to go take a poop. And what happened next was a masterclass in what happens when you push quiet, competent people too far. If you've ever been micromanaged, disrespected, or just dreamed of serving a little poetic justice to a power-tripping supervisor, you are in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because this story is about to become your new favorite. And stay until the end to see how one simple, disgusting act of rebellion united an entire office. Let me set the scene. I worked in a call center. Not the most glamorous job, but it paid the bills. For years, our team had a rhythm, a harmony. We were a well-oiled machine. When you had to step away for a coffee, to use the bathroom, to just breathe for a second after a particularly nasty call, the protocol was simple. You jump into our dedicated team's chat and type 2 letters. BRB. Be right back. It was efficient. It was professional. It was respectful. It said, I'm temporarily unavailable, without oversharing. For years, this system worked flawlessly. And then came Sarah. Sarah was promoted to supervisor. And let's be clear, she wasn't promoted because she was a stellar agent or a natural leader or had brilliant ideas. Oh no, she got the job because she was best friends with the big boss Mark. Their friendship was the stuff of office legend. She was his personal therapist, his dating coach, his yes woman. I once overheard her in the break room, not so quietly advising him on which of his Tinder dates had wife potential based on their Instagram profiles. My stomach would clench whenever I saw them laughing together by the coffee machine. It wasn't jealousy. It was a deep, sinking feeling of injustice. It was the knowledge that in this world, competence often bows to connection. And Sarah, she had the connections, but she had no idea what she was doing. You could feel the shift in the atmosphere the day she officially took over. The air, once light with collaborative ease, grew thick with a new, unspoken tension. It was the feeling of being watched, judged. It was the calm before the micromanagement storm. Her first week was quiet. The second week, the reign of terror began. The message popped up on my screen. It wasn't a group announcement. No, that would be too transparent. This was a one-on-one Teams message from Sarah, and imitating a saccharine corporate voicey. Hey there! Just touching base. I've noticed the team uses BRB quite a bit. Moving forward, I need everyone to provide a specific reason for stepping away. We need more transparency. I need to know what everyone is doing at all times. I remember my fingers freezing over the keyboard. A cold dread trickled down my spine. Transparency. To know what we're doing. We're call center agents. We answer calls. What did she think we were doing? Practicing neurosurgery between calls. My internal monologue was screaming. This isn't about transparency. This is a power play. A naked, clumsy grab for control. She has no real authority, so she's inventing rules to make herself feel important. I type back, my fingers feeling heavy. To be honest, Sarah, I'm not really comfortable announcing to the entire team every time I have to use the bathroom. Her reply was instant. A verbal shrug. A digital dismissal. It's the new rule. We need to maintain accountability. Accountability. The word tasted like ash in my mouth. We'd had accountability for years with a simple BRB. This was about humiliation. It was about reminding us, in small, daily doses, who was in charge. That our bodily functions were now company business. I leaned back in my chair, the cheap fabric groaning in sympathy. A hot flush of powerlessness spread across my chest. This was it. This was the hill she wanted to die on. My bladder. My bowels. I felt a simmering anger, mixed with a bitter sense of resignation. Just keep your head down. The rational part of my brain whispered, don't make waves. But another, quieter, more stubborn part of me was waking up. It was fed up. Ooh. It was done being respectful to someone who had no respect for us. That part of me was starting to form a plan. The very next day, it happened. That familiar, low rumble in my stomach. Nature was calling, and it wasn't a polite whisper, it was a demand. I clicked into the team chat. The cursor blinked in the empty text box, a tiny, mocking metronome. I could type BRB out of habit. I could lie, grabbing water, stretching my legs. But then I saw Sarah's name in the active users list, and I remembered her dismissive tone. That feeling of hot powerlessness returned, but this time it hardened into something else. Resolve. You want a specific reason. I thought, a slow, wicked smile spreading across my face. Okay, I'll give you a specific reason. My fingers flew across the keyboard, fueled by a beautiful, reckless fury. I didn't hesitate. I typed the message and, before my better judgment could stop me, I hit enter. So end of a dramatic sending message. Whoosh. The message appeared in the group chat for all 20 of my colleagues to see. BRB. Going to go poop in the bathroom. For a second, there was absolute silence. The chat was frozen. Then, a little laughing emoji reaction appeared from my coworker, Dave. Then another, and another. And then, my private chat window exploded. Someone died of an urgent, insistent notification ping. It was Sarah. Her message was frantic. Are you down? The heat of anger was gone, replaced by an ice-cold calm. I replied, my words measured and precise. I'm following the new rule, Sarah. You said we needed to be specific and transparent about why we were stepping away. I am being transparent. I could almost hear the sputtering on the other side of the screen. The gears in her brain grinding to a halt. She had been beaten with her own rule book. But the best part, this wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. My act of defiant, disgusting honesty had lit a fuse. The next day, Dave, emboldened by my rebellion, typed his own message. BRB, gonna stand in front of the urinal and do an impression of a water fountain. The team chat erupted. Laughing emojis, crying, laughing emojis. It was glorious. Then, from Jessica, one of our quieter team members, BRB, going to blow my nose to try to dislodge this giant booger. Another day, another masterpiece. BRB. My cat just hacked up a hairball, and I suddenly feel nauseous. Might be a sympathy puke. The team chat, once a dry, professional tool, had become a festival of TMI. A glorious, united front of malicious compliance. We were no longer a group of individuals being micromanaged. We were a rebellion. And our weapon was the truth, in all its gross, unfiltered detail. I'd sit at my desk, a genuine smile on my face for the first time in weeks, watching the notifications roll in. Each one was a tiny dagger into Sarah's ridiculous regime. The atmosphere on the team had completely flipped. The tension was gone, replaced by a sense of camaraderie, of shared resistance. And Sarah, she was powerless. She had created this monster. She couldn't discipline us for following her direct instructions. I'd see her in the office, her face pinched, her shoulders tense. She'd try to glare at me, but I'd just give her a bright, cheerful smile. The war was over. She just didn't know it yet. It took less than a week. A new message appeared in the team chat. This one was from Sarah. You could feel the entire team lean in, reading it with bated breath. Team, after further consideration. Regarding stepping away from your desks, a simple BRB is sufficient. There is no longer a need to provide specific details. Thank you. I read those words, and I let out a breath I felt like I'd been holding for a month. It was a quiet, understated message, but to us, it was a white flag. It was a surrender. A wave of pure, unadulterated triumph washed over me. It wasn't just about winning. It was about validation. It was about proving that a pointless rule, born from pettiness and a hunger for control, could not stand against the collective will of people who were just done. We had taken our power play and turned it into a joke. And in doing so, we had taken our power back. Sometimes, justice doesn't come from a grand gesture or a huge confrontation. Sometimes it comes from the smallest, most mundane acts of defiance. It's a reminder that when someone tries to control you in ways that are unreasonable, sometimes the most powerful response is to give them exactly what they asked for. If this story of the BRB rebellion made you feel that sweet, satisfying sense of payback, do me a huge favor. Smash that like button. It really helps the channel. And I have to ask, what's the most satisfying, petty revenge you've ever gotten on a bad boss or coworker? Tell me your stories in the comments below. I read every single one. And of course, subscribe for more tales of everyday people serving up justice, one malicious compliance at a time. Thanks for watching.